Section 1. The fight before the fight. Every time a fighter steps on the scale before a big fight, they are concluding what is often the most dangerous battle of their entire career, the war against their own body. We see the triumphant flex after they hit the mark, but what we don't see is the brutal, life-threatening process they endured to get there. This process, known as extreme weight cutting, has led to kidney failure, heart attacks, and in several tragic cases, death. This isn't about dieting or losing a few pounds. It's a dangerous game of rapid dehydration that pushes the human body to its absolute limit. To understand why elite athletes are willing to risk their lives before they even step into the cage or ring, you have to understand the deadly science behind making weight. Section 2. The allure of size. Why they do it. So why would a fighter subject themselves to such a torturous process? The answer lies in a simple, powerful advantage: size. The goal of weight cutting is not to fight at your natural weight, but to compete in a weight class significantly below it. A fighter who naturally walks around at 185 pounds might cut down to 155 pounds to compete as a lightweight. After the weigh-in, they have 24 to 36 hours to rehydrate and refuel, often stepping into the fight 20 to 30 pounds heavier than the official weight limit. This size and strength advantage can be a deciding factor in a fight. A larger fighter can theoretically absorb more punishment, hit harder, and have a significant grappling advantage. In a sport of inches and ounces, being 15% heavier than your opponent is a game changer. This perceived competitive edge is so powerful that it has created a culture where extreme weight cutting is not just common, it is expected. But the methods used to achieve this advantage are where the true danger lies. Section 3. The science of dehydration. The process of cutting weight is a systematic and brutal dehydration of the human body. It begins weeks out from a fight with a strict diet to reduce body fat, but the final week is when the water cut begins. This is a multi-step process designed to trick the body into flushing out as much water as possible. It often starts with water loading, where a fighter will drink up to 2 gallons of water per day for several days. This signals to the body that it is overhydrated, causing it to downregulate the hormone aldosterone, which is responsible for water retention. The fighter will then drastically cut their water intake in the final days before the weigh-in. Because the body is still in a state of flushing out water, it continues to excrete more fluid than it is taking in, leading to rapid weight loss. This is combined with a near-zero sodium diet to further prevent water retention. The final, most dangerous stage involves actively forcing water out of the body through extreme sweating. Fighters will spend hours in saunas, wear plastic sweatsuits while doing cardio, or take hot baths with Epsom salts. They are literally cooking themselves to sweat out the last few pounds of water weight. It is in these final hours that the body begins to break down. Section 4. The immediate dangers. What goes wrong? When a fighter sheds 15 to 20% of their body weight in water, they are pushing their organs to the brink of failure. The first and most immediate danger is severe dehydration, which leads to a cascade of life-threatening problems. The blood thickens, forcing the heart to work much harder to pump it through the body, which can lead to a heart attack, even in an elite athlete. The kidneys, which are responsible for filtering the blood, are put under immense strain and can begin to shut down, a condition known as acute kidney injury. The electrolyte balance in the body is thrown into chaos, which can cause seizures and cardiac arrhythmias. Perhaps the most terrifying danger is to the brain. The brain is cushioned by cerebrospinal fluid, which is mostly water. When a fighter is severely dehydrated, this fluid cushion is drastically reduced. This means the brain has less protection, and a punch that might normally be absorbed can cause a much more severe brain injury, such as a subdural hematoma. The fighter is stepping into a violent confrontation in the most vulnerable state imaginable. Section 5. The tragic cases when the worst happens. This is not theoretical danger. It is a grim reality that has claimed the lives of several fighters. In 2015, Chinese flyweight fighter Jian died at the age of 21 from complications related to a severe weight cut for a one championship event. He reportedly collapsed from heat stroke and cardiopulmonary failure while trying to sweat out the last few pounds. In 2013, Brazilian fighter Leandro Souza died in a sauna at the age of 26 while trying to cut 33 pounds in 1 week for a Shudo Brazil event. These are just two of the most well-known cases. Countless other fighters have been hospitalized with kidney failure, heat stroke, and other life-threatening conditions. The culture of extreme weight cutting has created a silent epidemic in combat sports, where fighters are risking their lives not in the ring, but on the scale. Section 6. The long-term damage, the invisible toll. Even for fighters who survive the weight cut without immediate medical emergencies, the long-term damage can be severe and irreversible. Repeatedly putting the kidneys through the stress of acute dehydration can lead to chronic kidney disease later in life. The hormonal systems of the body are also thrown into disarray, which can lead to a host of problems, including decreased testosterone production and metabolic issues. There is also growing concern about the cumulative effect of brain trauma sustained while fighting in a dehydrated state. The long-term neurological consequences of this practice are still not fully understood, but many experts believe that it significantly increases a fighter's risk of developing chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. The brutal process of weight cutting is not just a short-term risk, it is a mortgage on a fighter's future health. Section 7. The flawed system. Why it continues. So if the dangers are so well known, why does this practice continue? The answer lies in the flawed system of weigh-ins. Most major promotions use a 24-hour weigh-in system, where fighters weigh in the day before the fight. This gives them a full day to rehydrate and recover, which incentivizes them to cut as much weight as possible to maximize their size advantage. Some have proposed a return to same-day weigh-ins, where fighters would have only a few hours to recover. The theory is that this would force fighters to compete closer to their natural weight. However, this could create an even more dangerous situation, as some fighters would still attempt to cut weight and then compete in a severely dehydrated state, increasing the risk of in-ring fatalities. The culture of weight cutting is so deeply ingrained in the sport that there is no easy solution. It is a prisoner's dilemma. If everyone else is doing it, you feel you have to do it too, just to remain competitive. Section 8. The path to a safer sport. Fortunately, there are organizations that are trying to change this dangerous culture. One championship in Asia has implemented a revolutionary system that focuses on hydration testing. Fighters are weighed multiple times throughout fight week, and their urine-specific gravity is tested to ensure they are not dangerously dehydrated. Fighters are assigned to a weight class based on their natural walking weight, and they are not allowed to drop below it. This system has been praised by many experts as a major step forward in fighter safety. Other proposed solutions include adding more weight classes to reduce the large gaps between divisions and implementing stricter penalties for fighters who miss weight. The ultimate solution will likely be a combination of rule changes, education, and a cultural shift away from the idea that bigger is always better. Until then, the most dangerous fight for many athletes will continue to be the one against the scale.